I debated on coming on or not because I have a very little voice, but I am determined because I do have a lot to say and not much voice to say it with. However, there's a lot of Aries and Mars energy in the air, and I'm feeling very determined. So bear with me. While I get myself situated. Hello to everybody. Thank you for joining me. I hope everyone had a nice holiday. If you celebrate any holidays at this time of year. We are at the end of 2023. Which brings to us a lot of emotion, a lot of feeling, and the Cancer full moon. And Cancer is the moon's home sign. So the moon is at home. There is a maturation, I feel, that is happening with us all to some degree. This is an energy that's very emotional and sensitive. We're feeling a lot. There could be a lot of nostalgia going on for many. Very emotional and introspective. This full moon energy is highlighting a lot of things that we may not have fully processed from the past. Chiron stations direct today as well. At, where are we at here? I have notes. I believe it's 15 degrees of Aries. Yes, 15 degrees of Aries. Mars is the ruler of Aries, and Chiron stationing at this degree of Aries, it's in conjunction with the north node of the moon, or our destiny, our future direction of where we're heading. I hope you guys can hear me. Okay. I have my volume up as high as it goes. So this is as loud as I can talk. Without further ado, I want to just first point out that I brought out my notebook from astrology school. Yes, I did study astrology for about a year. I've been interested in it for longer than a year, but I formally studied astrology for about a year until, and I still continue to, but not formally in school anymore yet. It's still a big part of me and a big part of my passion. There's a lot involved. But what I wanted to point out was the notes I took on the archetype of Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon, so the full moon in Cancer is in its home sign. And the moon represents part of our sense of self that is available to us, while there's another part of our sense of self that is in a shadow. We're really getting to see, and not just see, acknowledge, experience, and work through the shadow. Hi, Patsy. The shadow sense of self. So Cancer is nurture and protection. Cancer is the awareness, and this is the archetype of Cancer. The awareness that something is insecure and needs to be protected, which would be our inner child or our true soul essence that is free, but very sensitive and vulnerable. Oh, I do, and I'm drinking lots of tea with honey. Thank you. It sounds worse than what it really is. I just said I have a lot to say, and I get really frustrated when my voice doesn't want to work. Yes, I took my grandson's cold from him, so he's feeling better, which I'm grateful to be able to take that from him. I'm feeling better. I just sound horrible. So back to Cancer. There's something that's insecure and needs to be protected within us. Part of our protection is the womb, the home, the walls that shield us from the outside world. This is also about early life imprinting and the original womb of the mother. We have emotional needs that need to be nurtured. How much influence your mother and her imprinting has been placed onto you will be reflected. Understanding the nature of our identity and personality and what keeps us feeling safe and nurtured. It's about what we identify with. And I've been experiencing a lot of this in a pre-wave fashion over the last few days myself. There's definitely a lot of reflection on the past few years, especially with Mercury in retrograde. Mostly pertaining to family, how we connect or are not connected to our family, our relationships, and our lineage. As I was saying before, Chiron stationed direct today as well. So we also have Mars and Mercury in Sagittarius that are coming together and squaring Neptune and Pisces for the next few days. So we are recognizing a lot of things within ourselves, recognizing what we have been protecting, what needs to be nurtured, what needs of ours do we need to meet that have not been met in our past. We're recognizing limitations around our energy, limitations around our own motivations. And many people are feeling very tired. Many people are getting sick. Some are becoming overly emotional, overly sensitive, meaning more than they are accustomed to in this energy. But we're all supposed to be noticing what's working, what's not working. What do I need to see that I have maybe refused to see in the past? This is a healing journey that we are all on, every one of us. So with this moon highlighting certain aspects of ourselves that have been in the shadow, we're seeing what's working, what's not working. How do we get ourselves back into alignment is what also will be shown if we are open to allowing ourselves to go through whatever purge that we are meant to go through. Chiron in Aries. Chiron in Aries transit essentially feels like you've got the wind knocked out of you, the life taken from you, like a gut punch. It's the type of wounding experience that causes great purging, which is detoxification. And as we do this purge, we're removing ourselves from old fears, doubts, inadequacies by facing them and facing the old wounds, maybe even being re-traumatized by these old wounds, to enable us to continue to purge all that has kept us out of alignment with our true path and our true soul's essence. Everything that has kept us from experiencing our full life force energy. This is also a time for us to recognize that it is important that we do things in our own unique way, that we do not follow others, that we do not wait for direction from another, but to listen to our heart and listen to our intuition and listen to what the universe, what life is showing us all. This is a time for great self-discovery. As we move into 2024, we are now, before we move into 2024, which was very soon, we are experiencing the last degree of Pluto in Capricorn. There's a lot of tension involved with this degree point, the anorectic degree of Capricorn, in our structures, in our governments, in our society, in our rules. I am grateful for the knowing. There's a lot of regression that's going on that we're noticing. There's a lot of negative reinforcement, punishment, abuse, division, programming, control tactics. All of this is building in intensity as Pluto is leaving the last degrees of Capricorn. It's important that we understand what must be removed. Aquarius is about breaking that glass ceiling and breaking the rules that we have been contained in for all of our lives and lives past. I've cooled down since last year. Good. Yeah. Oh yeah, me too, for sure. And that's one of the first things I wrote down here. Maturing. We are maturing spiritually and just naturally maturing. So I want to get into pulling a few cards for this moon's energy. Well, let's get back to Cancer for a moment because I found this really interesting. I read the archetype, the main archetype of Cancer. However, in evolutionary astrology, which is what I've been studying, we also look to the natural zodiac influences of each sign. And that would be, for Cancer, it would be Aries, Pisces, Libra, and Scorpio. So natural zodiac Aries is in a square to Cancer, which is about our actions and our security. Aries energy doesn't always like to feel the sense of a new direction. It feels insecure. Cancer archetype nurtures and gives security, allowing you to explore and try new things, develop patterns of consistency to develop a sense of security. So these are all influencing the Cancer archetype. Cancer in the home. The Pisces aspect, which is forming a natural trine to Cancer, is about spirit, emotion, and about our emotional relationships by experiences where spirit is connected with how you feel about something. Is it inspirational? Have you connected with something or someone spiritually, beautiful and magical, only to have it go south or taken from you? And then you experience disillusionment, loss, and tragedy. These emotions are connected to the Pisces aspect, spirit. It is also a form of enlightenment and bringing us into more of our truth. Then there's the Libra aspect, which is our emotional connection. This is about identifying with another, or our loss of identity due to relationships with others. So some people do lose themselves in their relationships, and that is a lesson in its own. But it's how we identify with one another, or how we lose our identity. This is also about emotionally connecting to another. It's about boundaries. It's about safety and security patterns that we've developed. How do you feel emotionally connected to another? And lastly, there's the Scorpio aspect, which is about the transformation. And this is where we feel empowered by the connection with something or someone that is known. These are big emotions that surface. Feelings of abandonment or betrayal arise and bring the need to let go of something that's causing emotional distress. That brings transformation. Scorpio recognizes the limitations to what we connect with and wants us to grow from that experience. Internal security is developed by recognizing and acknowledging. So this is the part where we must recognize and acknowledge that we must be the ones to give ourselves identity, safety, and security, and to not look to another or anything outside of ourselves for that. It is part of the journey. So I thought that was really interesting to read up on that archetype, because there's so much more than just the basic, archetype. There's a lot involved there. So let's get into the reading. Acceptance, yes. And there's a lot of things that have been difficult for us to accept over the years. Yet we're coming to a choice point yet again of forgiveness, acceptance, understanding what we were meant to learn and gain from our experiences, from our loss, from our pain, our wounding, and become wiser, more mature humans, more loving. But it begins with self-love. And trusting the self. I had an experience just yesterday. I noticed it right away. And I wish I could just tell the whole story, but I always try to protect other people's identity. I got a phone call from somebody who usually, and this is somebody very, very close to my heart, who usually needs something from me when they call me. And so I'm usually expecting that, right? And it was just, this person was like, how are you? Merry Christmas, and all of this. And I'm like just waiting for it, and it never came. And then I started to feel like, wow, I was expecting something that didn't come. This person actually just called because they wanted to talk to me. They wanted to connect to me. They didn't want anything from me. And the story, the PTSD that's still in my body reacted when I picked up the phone to this person. It's like you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it didn't drop. It was actually a very beautiful and organic experience. And yeah, I've had many experiences like that where I'm really trying to work myself through not having that, but I have to just let it naturally happen. The awareness is definitely a nice start, nice surprise for a change. Yeah. And I think that is Chiron trying to show me or tell me this part is over. You've learned your lesson. I have learned. I have seen my shadow in this other person. I also have seen my part in the engagement with this other person that had caused me pain, which has also caused the other person pain. So I did learn the lesson. That part was over. Like the hard part was over, but I still was feeling this almost this I guess a tinge of like, uh, what did I do now? Or like, what is it now? Kind of thing. And I had to really sit with that after I got off the phone with them. Reciprocity. And that's something I'm not used to. I have to get used to that and be open. You did spell it right. I have to be more open to that and to receiving, which is something else that I discovered over the course of, I don't know, time has been flying so much for me over the course of the last few days with the holidays and with family and everything. How closed off I had become to receiving love and gifts from others, almost as if it had been uncomfortable for some reason. And I recognize that, and I know that, and I even, in my own reading, it was telling me to open my heart more to receiving, which is something that I have to get used to. But it's a nice thing to have to get used to, right? So let's pull a card first from a deck that Martin, who's not on here, had gifted me. Thank you, Martin. We'll see what comes through here for us all. And we'll get right into a little bit of tarot. I'm going to keep this short so I have some voice for tomorrow. I feel like I've been at school this past year. Yes. Oh, yes, we have been. Earth School. It definitely has been. And that's one of the reasons why I had to kind of not really drop out of astrology school. It's online school anyway. I paid for it already. But I had to kind of stop because life was taking me. It took all of my energy and all of my focus and time, and I get sucked in. But life was like, no, you've got a lot of lessons to learn. You cannot just be hyper focused on this one thing. And so I got pulled out, and I'm allowed to dabble. But and to get hyper focused in it again is just not my time yet. But when I do, I will certainly enjoy that once again. But I had many lessons to learn, and mostly through relationships and other things here. Let's see here. Thank you so much for being here with us and doing this reading while being under the weather. Oh, you're welcome. Sending you lots of healing energy. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I thought I was on my terms, on my own pace, but then life was like, oh, we have some crises. We have things that you need to be involved in first before you can dive back into that world. I believe they're over now. I believe that this next year is going to be a profound year for myself, really opening up the channels to all that I'm able to soak in and learn and understand and share with everybody. I just love to share with everybody all that I've learned through experience, which has been a lot. And this year, you're right, Patsy, this year alone has been probably one of the greatest years for not only learning, but like, we're always learning, but actually really understanding that, wow, I am in class. I am in school, Earth School, and this is important that I pay attention to every interaction, everything that comes my way, and my reaction, how I respond, all of it. And yeah, it's school to know yourself. Know yourself. Yeah, I could have pushed through school, through all the other stuff. The old me would have done that. But I knew better. I knew that it was time to set that aside and really step into all that I was meant to experience and learn here. Okay. It's interesting. This card reminds me of snow and ice. In any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. And I feel like that's exactly what we're doing. We are being asked to surrender. Surrender because presence is so powerful. And the energy of love is so powerful. Stillness can be powerful, especially after having great big huge experiences. And the next card is the key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. I love that. Many times we think we know what we need, you know. A lot of times we think we need a mate. We need the things that we need, we think we need, are really programmed into us through the mainstream media, through our upbringing, through social conditioning. But what we truly need is connection to ourselves, self love, connection to life, the earth, spirit, and to surrender, to let the universe show us exactly what we really truly do need. I need a friend, not a lover. Reality check 2020 to 2023. Yes, 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 yes. Perseverance and preservation. Yes, yes, definitely. Definitely. I think back now at the times where I was really praying for a lover, right? And this was before I even recognized my own attachment styles or knew all about myself. And now I think back in hindsight, like if the universe would have gifted that to me again, I would have just replayed the same relationship patterns that I have been my whole life. I needed to know me in and out. I need to feel whole within myself. I have to feel safe and secure on my journey alone to open up to having a partner, a friend, a mate join me in the journey. But that's not a need. It's not a need anymore. It was once what I thought was what I needed, you know? And that's the thing, the right one, I don't know. It would have to take someone very special and very open-minded. And I don't know. I found that I open up a lot of competition in other people and insecurities. And I know that that was showing me those aspects of me too, but it's interesting. It's interesting all the things that we learn when we are not distracted by having enmeshment with another, you know? Soul friend. Fussy here. Good. Be fussy. That's important. Very important. Cancer also is the energy of the mother, the sacred mother, the cosmic mother, the womb. That's the energy we came onto this planet through, where we were safe and comfortable and secure until we were taken out or we came out. Yeah. Funny. So the cards are reflecting exactly what I just said, which happens a lot. I think they're trying to save my voice here. But we have the Emperor being in control, being in the driver's seat of our lives. Knight of Pentacles. Taking the necessary steps, paying attention, being present, slow and steady, perseverance, patience, and Eight of Wands to find our own true, vital life force energy, our own inspiration, our own magic. And bottom of the deck is the Hangman, followed by the Hermit. You can't make it up. We must go solo through a big chunk of this journey. Not completely solo. We have each other. We do have others that come in and out of our lives, whether they're in human form or spirit form. But for all intents and purposes, it really is to show us how important it really is to get to know ourselves, all of our parts, and what makes us tick, what makes us react, what makes us have certain patterns and attachments, and to really heal a lot of that, because these are things that have been passed down from generation to generation, and we've spent the last few years really working, whether we were conscious of it or not, on healing and clearing ancestral karma. This is why we incarnated here to begin with. And if you look back, if you are fortunate enough to still have your parents be alive, or at least one parent, and you're able to dialogue with them about their life experiences, they'll open up to you and give you more information, and maybe even about their parents, things that you didn't know that were not told to you when you were children or even younger. But I know for me, my mom is still alive, and she has divulged to me many things that I had never heard before, but it made a lot of sense to my journey now. I may not have been ready or would not have understood the importance of the stuff that she's giving to me now. So everything happens in divine timing, divine order, you know? You lost your family too quickly. And that's, there's always a way for things to come through, you know? And you're told a lot about your tree. Whatever information is given to you and when it's given to you is meant to really feed you more about you and what you're here to clear and heal from. Even if it doesn't logically make sense, the more you walk this journey and this path, the more it starts to make sense, you know? Grandmothers, 36 and 42. So let's get one last card to wrap this up. All right, Moonology is calling me for the full moon. Oops. I have so many cards out. Final message for us all, please. I cannot tell you how frustrating it is to not have a voice. Like, this has happened to me my whole life, and I love to talk. When I lose my voice, it's like, so frustrating. It's usually when I have a lot to say or share. Interesting. Very interesting card here. We got the new moon in Cancer card. You and your loved ones are safe. Wow. Let's read it from the book. These are so hard to find in the book. Okay. There's a new start coming in your private life. Something is rising up in connection with the people and places you hold dearest. This can be to do with a member of your family, a flatmate, or moving house. If you're hoping to move forward with something special in your private life, this card comes to you as a message that you can do it. If you've been neglecting your family, it's time to reconnect with them. If you've been neglecting yourself, you need to take better care of yourself and nurture yourself more. If your insecurity is holding you back, that's something for you to work on now. Doing so could bring your heart's desire. Additional messages. Let someone get a bit closer to you. A new cycle is starting for your child or children. It's time to renew your goals. Have they changed? Meditation will help you banish your insecurities, and spending time near water will bring you peace and the answers. So what I'm getting here is, so interesting. Full moons are usually a culmination of illuminating emotional stuff that we may not have fully seen or processed, leading us into the new moon, which is a fresh new start of like, oh, I see a new way of being or a new direction or a new focus. And this card is just telling me that it is safe. It is safe to open your heart. It is safe to make a change. It is safe to love yourself. You and your loved ones are safe. Cancer. Protected. So that is what I have for us all during this Cancer full moon. I hope that you guys found this helpful for you. And I will go in a little deeper on the Chiron aspect when I have more of a voice, because there's a lot more there that I'd like to share. But I did share a little bit about, that PTSD that we're all kind of carrying with us that's unnecessary. Pay attention. If you're having a little bit of like looking over your shoulder, like what next, or waiting for the next shoe to drop and it just doesn't, that's a good indicator that whatever challenge and experiences that we were having, that time is over now, and it's time to just take what we were meant to learn from that and move on and forgive and heal. Yep, generational. Oh my, very emotional time, but it's good. Celebrate and honor your emotions, and enjoy the stillness of this time of year. Try to slow down and reflect as much as possible, because Mercury will go direct January 1st, and we have a lot more energy that is up and moving in January that will bring us to new experiences, new changes, new events, new realizations, all of that. We are growing stronger and stronger, yes, wiser and wiser as well. Voice is going, so I'm going to go as well. Sending you guys all so much love. Thank you for joining me and engaging, and I will be back soon. Love you guys. Bye.